Okay.
So I just wanted you to feel the energy of where we are for this soul session. I'm Oye. You're in the soul garden. Still have some work to do. We will be going inside soon, but since it is solstice and the full moon will be making an appearance not too long now, I wanted to be outside with you, and I wanted you to hear John Lennon and all the things he calls us to imagine. And here in the month where the spiritual gift of imagination is at its most potent, I thought maybe we could consider imagining some of the things that he's talking about for our country. I think by now everyone knows that it's a very scary time, and particularly for people who are considered the other. And so what we're going to require is that we understand that love transcends all of that. It transcends our movements, it transcends our belief systems, it transcends our fears, it transcends our pain. You know, love is what we can come together around to help tip the scale back towards decency and hope and belief in a better future. Belief that we can turn around everything, that it's not too late. And you know, we start that by turning it around in our own lives. You know, self, family, neighborhood, community, city, state, country. And all of those are interlocking. So what I do for myself and my family, I also do for my city, my neighborhood, my community, and for the state and the country and the world. So I think we have to stop allowing love to be considered foo-foo and not as serious and powerful as hate and anger and rage and fear. We have to legitimize love again. It's not a weakness. In fact, it's our greatest strength. And so I implore you to begin to imagine that the walls of separation that keep us thinking that our movement is separate from that movement, is separate from this movement, is separate. So the people that are saving the whales and the seals, they're not helping the people that are saving the ocean. And the people that are saving the ocean are not helping the people that are saving the mountains. And the people that are saving the mountains, well, they're not interested in recycling. And the people that are recycling, well, they're mad if you're not vegan. And so the people that are vegan, they have nothing to do with Black Lives Matter. And Black Lives Matter, we're offended whenever you say anything else matters. Not because it doesn't, but it's because that was the call for everyone to come to our rescue. But now the thing is, our strength will also be found in the LGBTQ community. Our strength as human beings that believe in truth and justice for all, that believe in love, we're gonna have to put your hand in my hand so together we can make it. Because one thing about it, and this has been all the way since Barack was elected, we may have called them cuckoo and extremists, but they were very organized and they became a legitimate force within the Republican Party, the Tea Party. That never existed before we elected our first African American president. And so we have to understand that as cuckoo as we may think they are, and as outrageous as the things that Donald Trump says, it's a real possibility because they are organized, because they don't separate well, the New York Republicans, they're not going to vote for Donald Trump because the Southern Tea Party, no, they're going to come together and they're going to do what they need to do to put their agenda forward, and they'll work out the details later. Of course, they're going to show that, oh, I just can't stand him and I can't deal with it. But when push comes to shove, they're going to be a voting bloc. So we have to decide, those of us, the others, what are we going to do? And we have to see what happens at the Democratic National Convention. And then we have to move in unison, whether it's Bernie or whether it's Hillary, whether Hillary should be prosecuted or Hillary is the devil in disguise. I can guarantee you that if we remain organized throughout her terms in office, then we will be able to assist in setting the agenda. Sometimes we get so caught up, in the election and the campaigning and all that, and then when the person takes office, we're not calling Congress, we're not writing letters, we're not staying organized, we're not putting our agenda. We start separating and we get frightened, and so this group gets their agenda heard and this group doesn't. But all of it is about love. So we can come together under the banner of love, and we can ensure that America, that is now at the crossroad of love and hate, takes the right step in the right direction. If in fact it is Hillary, then Bernie supporters, I ask you to consider this. In your disappointment and your outrage regarding Hillary's pedigree, may I please say to you, reconsider not voting for anyone. Please reconsider, because we're going to need you on the team. We're going to need you. And the same with Bernie. If Bernie becomes the candidate, hey, we got to do what we have to do, because the goal is love. It's to tilt the scale towards love. So, in imagining the future of America, I'm imagining a future where it is not commonplace for children to be shot dead, rather by the police, rather by the disgruntled employee, rather by the young, angry black male. No one. We will protect the children because they really are the future. But it's our job, because we're the adults now, to take a stand. If the current Congress will not enact the laws that we need to protect our children, then we'll get a new Congress that will. This is long-term thinking. It's not going to happen overnight. So don't become desensitized to the killing. Don't become desensitized to the protest. Support anybody that raises their voice in protest against injustice. Remember the words of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. He said, a threat to justice anywhere. No, is that right? Damn it. And that's my favorite, but you know how that is, so go look it up. You know what he said about justice anywhere is injustice everywhere. So we are all called, when there is an injustice, we are all called. It's not a black problem or a gay problem. It's our problem. Those of us who live, have our being in love. And so on this beautiful solstice day, I'm looking at sun and I'm looking at dark clouds at the same time. And that's pretty much where we are. Are we going to move in the direction of the sun, or are we going to go up under dark clouds and return to places that we thought we would never see again, like Jim Crow? So, I'm going to close, but I want to say to you individually, in this time of using the imagination, if you're feeling depressed and you feel like you can't think of anything good about life right now, use your imagination to visualize, have the willingness to believe that it might get better, and just hold on to that. And then visualize, what would it be like if it could get better? And try to feel that, Because I promise you, as someone that has considered suicide, I promise you that it gets greater later. So hold on. Hold on. We need you. The world needs you. Mama Earth needs you. The Soul Guard needs you. Oh, yeah, needs you. I need you. And let's do this. Let's tilt the scale. Um, be well. And do one thing that scares you. And reach out to one group of the others that you find difficult to understand and ask them until you get clarity. I'm going to do that with the different trans human beings because I'm not clear. I don't understand, but I do respect, and so I want to know. Do something like that. Will you do that with me? Well, that concludes the soul session for this once in 70 years. The last time we had this full moon and solstice was 70 years ago. So it's a once in a lifetime thing for some people. Let's make the most of it. Peace, love, and soul. Bye-bye.